Back on the Run Pure Sports YouTube channel as my dog Reggie is growling at someone who knocked on the door as we were literally about to go live. So I got to go check on that in a second, Tony. But yeah, it was great timing. Reggie's pumped up for the show. We got one game in the NBA slate to talk about. We've got two games from last night that we got to get into. But Big T, how you feeling here on this nice Thursday morning?
Not as good as B-Nair with his Knicks getting 2 dubs now. Not one, but 2 dubs for B-Nair. Of course, he's in the chat. I see him in the chat just loving his Knicks, which I didn't see coming, but I'm also a Boston hater, so I can't say I was disappointed in the result. I like the Knicks, too. A lot of people don't like the Knicks. I don't mind them. I don't like how much Jalen Brunson flops, but I like how hard they play. Like, they play their guys, and I like that. I like how they play. I hate Cat, too. That's one of the reasons I hate the Knicks. It was tilting me so hard when Cat was actually doing good and, like, playing physical. But I am stunned they beat them, though, in Boston. I still obviously don't think they're dead down 2-0. They're still a little bit of a favorite, even after losing 2 at home. But, man, when they look bad, they just look so freaking bad. Like, it's crazy how bad they look. And I just remember this from the playoffs last year where I'm like, you look at their bench, I mean, it starts to look like Denver a lot. I remember saying it all the playoffs, and it's just, man, these starters are awesome, at least the 4, and then Al and Kristaps or whatever for the other guy, Pritchard. But even Pritchard, like, just, I mean, he looks so bad out there right now. I don't – there's no way people think he looks better than Trae Young right now, Rubio. Where's Rubio at with his Trae? I mean, he looks terrible out there.
I mean, let's not just single out Peyton Pritchard. I mean,
all look bad. I'm not singling him out.
Jason Tatum looks horrible out there right now. I mean, like, honestly, Tony, think about this question real quick. Is there any superstar in the league you'd want with the ball more in their hands at the end of a game than Jason Tatum? Seriously, think about that for a second and then answer that question.
Again, it's going to sound bad because I'm a Celtics hater. I just don't put them on the same. I never have. So it's not me. It's not me saying it.
Yeah, but he's their best player.
No,
is there anyone else? Like, that's what I'm asking.
No, there's no other super. And that's why he didn't play on the Olympic team. It's why he's not as good as Ant. Ant is way better than him. Like,
Ant is so much better than
all
him,
these guys are so much better. Like, he's really good. He obviously is really good. The shots he shoots, though, are way harder than any. I mean, Lucas shoots.
He makes them harder than they should be, though, is the craziest part. Like, he makes them way harder than they should be. And on top of it, I can't get the play out of my mind. It was the fourth quarter. They were up 7 at this point. They were up 7. I think it was 86-79. And there was like a scramble play. Jason Tatum leaked out to the corner. And Jalen Brunson, I think, was the only one like back. And he was almost under the hoop, Tony. Al Horford was right next to him under the hoop. And he was legit like on the ground. Like hands, face were like on the ground, like on the floor. Jason Tatum catches the ball at the corner 3-point line, wide open. He could have just took 1, maybe 2 dribbles max and laid the ball in. Or gotten fouled by Jalen Brunson because he was literally on the floor. And he took a 3. And I was just like, what the fuck are we? You guys haven't hit a shot. It's the fourth quarter. And you think up 7, it's a smart idea to take that 3 when there is nobody who can stop you from getting a layup at that point. Like, literally, there was nobody. And I was just like, that's the Celtics right there. That is the exact thing. And I guarantee you they all go back and watch that. And Jason Tatum probably goes back and watches. Like, what the fuck am I doing? But then he's like, no, this is what I always do. Like, I'm always going to take that shot in that scenario, even when we can't hit shots. That was the crazy part. And then he misses. Knicks go down and score. I think Mikal hit another 2 or something like that. And then Jaylen Brown gets a wide open 3-pointer at the top of the key, clanks.
He's another story, too, with the whole team. He really stinks right now.
I mean, when they're bad, they're just – and I'm saying this, too. just don't bet the Knicks pregame. Bet the Knicks once the Celtics get up 20. I'll just keep saying it because I'm going to keep betting it too. Like every time the Knicks get down 20 to the Celtics, it's just like an auto bet for me now.
Yesterday was the first time I haven't done it. I didn't pull the trigger like a little sissy man.
They were plus 3,000, I think.
I thought they were going to get blown out was the only reason I didn't bet it, but I immediately regretted it.
Well, I wanted them to get blown out, but I knew it was almost like a hedge in a way because I was rooting for the blowout because of our script, right? I wanted our script to be like the thing, but I was like, nope, I know exactly what happens in this scenario. We did it in game 1. We got to stay with it in game 2 because they just – and I'll stay with it all playoffs. Like the Celtics will go up 20 – I bet they'll go up 20 in New York. They'll go up 20 in New York.
They definitely will at some point.
And they'll go up 20.
They go up 20 every
live
game.
Bet them. You'll just live bet them, and then the Knicks will come back. And we shit on Jalen Brunson, but at the end of the game, dude,
the Knicks
who had
are winning
this
series
game,
if it's a close game. They are going to dominate crunch time.
Well, because that dude had a bad game, Tony, right? Because the Celtics are a really tough matchup for Jalen Brunson. Yeah. Like, they've got strong defensive guards who can bang with them, play physical, and get all in his shit. So it's not a good matchup for him. And we saw that yesterday. But still, at the end of the game, what did Jalen Brunson do? He went to the ball. Watch when Jason Tatum was like fumbling the ball with Mitch Robb on him at the end. All the Celtics were just standing like out there just staring at him, like letting him do it. So that's Boston to a T.
Yeah, it's the Knicks want it, man. Mikal wants it too. Like in crunch time, I don't like Mikal Bridges, but in crunch time, the dude, he's made 2 defensive plays now. The dude just makes plays. These guys made plays at Villanova. They make plays now. They might not be more talented than a lot of teams. They aren't. They're smaller. They're whatever. But the one thing I know I'm getting with the Knicks, they're not going to be scared, and they're going to go get it. So Boston's going to have to beat them. Like, if it's a close game, the Knicks are winning. Boston has to win this thing by double digits. If it's close, the Knicks are going to win the series.
Boston has to look like superior to this team to win.
Which they have for most of the 2 games. It's just when it goes bad, it goes bad.
But again, Detroit, for a lot of those games, looked superior to the Knicks. But at the end of the game, what just kept happening to Detroit? And it's like, dude, you can't. At the end of the day, the best team doesn't always win. We've talked about this before. I talk about this all the time. The best team does not always win. But I'll tell you right now, the team that executes down the stretch is going to win a lot of games that are close. And that's what the Knicks have done in this playoffs. That's just a fact.
Yeah.
And Cat finally had a good game.
Yeah. And I still hated how he was doing it, but he did play good. And he couldn't play better than that, and he had 45 fantasy points. He played freaking perfect.
But that was like my point. Like, he has to play like that in this year. Like, he has to. They need him. I don't think Jalen Brunson game in and game out can do what he did to Detroit to Boston. That was more my point when I was talking about it before game 1. Like, he's going to have spots, but man, they need Cat to dominate. The Celtics are small. Like, they're small and soft. And Porzingis, who the hell knows what's going on with him? Like, if he can even play.
Freaking Porzingis.
What did he play yesterday? How many minutes?
He played.
It wasn't many.
Yeah, 14 minutes, 13 fantasy points.
14
That's what I mean
minutes,
about Boston, though. Like, if you just say he's sick or whatever's wrong with him, look at what you got. You got Horford sliding into the starting lineup, and then Pritchard and Cornette are your only bench guys. That's as bad as Denver off the bench.
Honestly, though, the Knicks, that's not an excuse because the Knicks are kind of similar. Like, they don't
I'm not even talking about this series. I'm just talking about going forward. It's like, I said this last year too, though, and they won it. So it's like, man, because their starters are good and depth is overrated in the playoffs. Like, you can always just run these guys 44 minutes. Which is what they're going to do. They're down 2-0 now. They're going to play these guys all the minutes. So, they're not dead, but now you got a lot of room because the Knicks, there's always, in a 7-game series, there's always like one game too where Brunson does just get hot and just wins it. And like now you're playing with variance a little bit if you're Boston, because now you got to win at least one. Obviously, you got to win one of the series is over. If you split in New York, I mean, you got to win 3 in a row, which I don't care who you're playing. Winning 3 in a row in the playoffs, it's going to be tough because these are pros. People are going to get hot.
Yeah, and if you think about it, they got to take at least 2 in New York, no matter what, to win the series. They have to win at least 2 games in New York, no matter if it's the first 2, Tony, that they play, or if it's one of the 2, and then they win one more in games. Like they have to win 2 in New York. It's just a fact.
And they need to start hitting a shot. That might help.
That might help.
You miss every shot. It's tough to win. I mean, they scored 90 points last night.
Yeah, that's not the Celtics game either. Like they don't like the lower scoring the games are does not favor them. Definitely doesn't.
It's tough, man. Like Boston, these windows close quick on teams, and I mean, Drew Holiday's older, Horford's older, Porzingis has who knows what's going on. I mean, they got to win it this year. Like again, they just won it, so like we're talking high level here, but like still, their window is going to close quick.
Yeah, I mean, Big Al. Listen, Big Al's
how many years has he played? As many as LeBron? The dude's been there forever.
I mean, 2 for 11, 0 for 6, and these are open shot. Like these are mostly open looks too. By the way,
they're open. They're all open. Wide
and like think about that though, Tony. He makes just one of those, and we're talking about completely different game here.
There was a lot of trips down the court the last 2 games where if they made the 3, it would have been basically over the game. And they just kept missing though. And then each one you miss, everyone that's played basketball, everyone that you miss, even for me, I was always a good shooter of all things. If you miss a couple, it's like, okay, what's going on here? Like the more you miss, the more it just snowballs on you.
Yeah, it's definitely a snowball effect. Especially once it gets in your head too. It's just
like, they're all hearing it too. Like everyone's like, all they do is shoot threes, and they're like, well, we shoot good, and then they're like contradicting themselves in their own minds.
Well, yeah, because they're like, this is what we've always done. We shoot threes. Like that's what we do. Like that's our you know what I mean? We shoot.
You know how the public's gonna be too. Like, can't just shoot threes, blah blah blah. Wow. It's just gonna keep getting worse and worse. Now the New York media is gonna be saying the same stuff in there. Like it's just.
And that place is gonna be crazy too. Like crazy.
If they somehow win game 3, man, like what's this? They got to be what, -5, 6? What is it? Just for game 3.
Let's see here. What are they? You said just for game 3?
Yeah, they got to be about what, 5 or 6?
They are 5.
5.
They're 5. Yep, they're 5 points. And I think the series price is Boston still favored, or are they finally favored?
They were barely favored when I looked at that part.
Okay, so they're still Boston's still favored.
Lose first 2 on the road, and then I said it about Indiana. I was like, how's Indiana? This is a completely different situation, but I'm like, how in the world are they still favored?
Yeah. So do you think the same thing with the Knicks? Like, how in the world are Boston still favored slightly? Like, should the Knicks be favored at this point?
I mean, I think Boston should probably still. I think it's a good line, honestly, because they know people want to bet Boston just being down 2 and being the better team. So I think if it was like a true line where they weren't worried about bets, I think New York would be favored by a little.
This is the fun thing, though. Now the Eastern Conference, all those lines went down. New York went from 9-1 to +330. The Pacers went from 9-1 to +380. The Cavs are still +360 is the crazy part. Boston's still the favorite to win the East, but they're +140 now. They were -115 before that game. So
it is crazy, though, that you could have a Knicks versus Indiana for the East somehow. Who would have saw that coming?
I mean, seriously, give me the West if that's
the bigger question is, should we if everyone watching the show listened to us about, because I think you agreed on all the series. I think we both like the same 4.
Yeah, so the only series I didn't bet was this series, the Boston series.
Man. Oh, You didn't
Well, I
bet it,
didn't
though.
bet it. I
Yeah.
didn't bet it. So
So if people bet it, if they tailed, which I didn't bet like some crazy amount on any of them, but like we have so much value right now. It's almost insane not to bet the other side of these 2-0s. Like it seems
even if it's
crazy
like a quarter of what you bet or
just to
something
get your
like that.
original bet back, even
Right.
like just like so Boston right now is minus whatever 120 or something. Like just literally, if you bet $100 on the other side, just bet 120 on Boston. And
Right.
then just free roll, just a stone free roll on all these teams. Like it's
Cavs
just,
are plus 170 right now. Like if
that's
you
the
bet
one I'm
the
struggling
Pacers,
to like hedge though. It's like how in the world is I just really struggle to see Cleveland having any
okay.
chance.
If you bet $100 on the Pacers, bet $50 on Cleveland or something like that. You know, just a
And
little
Cleveland
something.
could easily like we could just wake up and they're like all three guys are playing and they're like I just don't see it though. I think they're actually hurt.
Yeah, the T-Wolves are the one series I wouldn't touch.
Well, the line hasn't moved either, so
Yeah.
like it's you're still laying minus
Well,
200.
that line's not moving
Yeah.
with Steph out. Like that line is
They are
definitely
going to
not
win the
moving.
next 4 too. Like that is going to happen. I just keep talking. The Timberwolves are my nemesis, though. Is the thing. Like whenever I start to love them, they just suck.
Yeah, and you know that they're a terrible matchup for your Nuggets, so you want to hate them. Like you want them to lose, like secretly in your head, not your wallet.
No,
Your
this
wallet
is
wants
where
them
you're
to
wrong.
win.
Like as far as the Nuggets, I
No.
do. I
No,
got a
no,
lot
no.
on Minnesota. I do not want them to lose.
Don't listen to him because I was talking to him 2 days ago and he was telling me how he knows that Minnesota is the kryptonite for
Yeah,
his
but I'm not
Nuggets. He
rooting against
knows
my
that.
biggest bet of the series. Deep down,
I
I
don't
might
know.
like it.
What do you want more, your heart or your
I will
wallet?
not be happy. I will promise you that.
Well,
I don't care about the Nuggets that much.
I'll tell you right now, if you're right about Steph and he doesn't come back and they lose this series to a Steph-less Golden State team,
oh my God,
it might go down as one of the worst.
They can't. I mean, they can't.
Seriously though, would that go down as like one of the worst series losses ever?
Definitely. I mean, definitely.
Like honestly, since Jimmy beat the Celtics pretty much by himself that
one was probably worse. That one was crazy.
Close though, I'll say that.
The odds in that thing were like massive though. So like that one had to be higher.
They
like,
were
that
crazy.
one had to be higher for sure. I mean, they're still only minus 200 right now or something.
Yeah, that's true. That is true.
That one was. There's no way they should. That's another Boston one though. Like we always forget about that because they won it. How did they lose that series? I mean,
I didn't forget about it.
Loses games. I forgot about it. My God,
I didn't forget about it. It just got me thinking about it because I was thinking of like worst series losses that I could remember in my head. You know, like
look what Grayson brought me the other night. Should I send it to B Nair? Look at this little ball.
Oh, New York! Look at that. How do you get that in Kentucky?
From Dave & Buster's. I guess there's some game that has all the teams or something like you play.
Oh, there you go.
Be there. What you know about it?
Nothing like a good Dave & Buster's. Big T was totally there too. He's trying to make it out like he wasn't there.
I was at home watching the games.
I
usually am. You're usually right. I'm usually.
You missed out on a good Dave & Buster's. Come on, you missed out on a good Dave & Buster's.
I start to like watching the playoff stuff.
Yeah, it's tough to leave the house for the playoffs and stuff like that. It's actually the one time where my wife like knows, like don't even ask. Like the NBA playoffs are like that actual one time where she's like, I won't even ask you to come to this cookout because I know what you're doing tonight. And I'm like, yeah, exactly. Like don't ask. Like let me be, please. And she knows, so love that. But yes, be near the Knicks, easy. We got you. We've heard you. Knicks are sweeping the series. I remember everything you said. You got it. You're rolling right now.
Be sleeping with Woodrow.
Yeah, he's got a full boner. He's got a full boner.
Man,
but
I'd feel good if I was a Knicks fan. I mean that's crazy.
Yeah, I mean you're overachieving right now. So,
and on the other series, like you're worried about Cleveland and they got all the injuries. You're like, oh man, we might only have to beat Indiana to go to the finals.
Indiana. Yeah, I mean Indiana's a good team. They're a solid team, like
solid, but you're okay playing them to go to the finals.
Definitely.
You can live
because
with
that. I can't remember like the Knicks against the Cavs though, like in the regular, it didn't like go very well facing like the Cavs.
Wasn't that like the nightmare matchup in the playoffs too? Didn't Cleveland like just whoop them? What was the? In my head, it was like they played in.
Did they play last year? Was that a series?
I need to
I
look
think
it
you're
up.
right.
In my head, I think they got like owned.
I think you're right, dude. I think it was a series.
Here, they lost 4-1.
Yeah.
I just remember
Yeah.
them like totally getting dominated. The Cavs lost 4-1.
Oh, the Cavs lost 4-1. Knicks whooped the
Oh
Cavs.
no,
There you go.
I'm looking at the wrong thing. Yeah,
What were you looking at?
That wasn't last year though. That was a few years ago. I was looking at.
So Beanair said Knicks whooped Cleveland, Pacers whooped Knicks. Okay. Can't even remember. I'm just stuck on this series right now. I'm just stuck here on this one. So, but so of course Boston blew the blowout idea that we had for this thing, but OKC, Tony, they came through and put a whooping on your Nuggets, which is what we said pretty much, by the way, and it happened to a T. But the only thing that was annoying was some of our guys lost blowout run because they brought in the C unit, the C squad. OKC did. My boy Aaron Wiggins lost some run. Isaiah Joe somehow like got all the run too. He was like the one guy who like got the extra minutes. I don't even understand that, but we called that, man. Fading the Nuggets pretty much. The showdown, I know you were right there. I had some good teams too. We were climbing, but I didn't have the Hartenstein captain build. That was the ended up being the winner. But the Caruso fade, I mean, I don't know how many shows are telling you that the best value on the slate is actually the worst play on the slate. And he was the worst play on the slate. I think he only played like, 10 minutes, Tony?
Right here. 4 fantasy points, 10 minutes.
4 fantasy points, 10 minutes. So we hit that showdown.
He had to be like,
good.
What was he owned in the main tournament too? He had to be like
60%. He was 60%.
It was only 60.
Oh, in the main, I'm talking the showdown. In the main, yeah. I couldn't even find him. I was looking for a little bit. I couldn't even like find him, obviously, but I didn't play him. So
I'm curious because I bet he got like the 80 or something.
Anyone play Caruso and know his ownership in the main?
People watching our show better not have played him.
Well, you never know. You know, is Buddy the Caruso play for tonight? We'll talk about that. We'll talk about that. 58% in the main. SJ says. That was on FanDuel. We're talking DK.
69%.
69. Oh, we faded a 69% on guy.
And the second highest owned was Aaron Gordon, who we also said to fade at 50%.
I mean, we kind of said to fade the Nuggets in the 2-game slate. So,
and it was like, if I'm saying to fade Aaron Gordon and Christian Brown, that I just can't believe that. That was so tilting to not win all the money because no other show's saying to fade Caruso. And honestly, like you look at these minutes, I mean, Jalen Williams, I think, kind of hit his floor of what he could have got. And all these plays were similar. Like Kaysen got 18, Wiggins 18, Joe 21. They're all very similar plays. We talked about Kenrich. All of them just ended up in the same type of range, though. And Isaiah Joe, like you said, just got that little extended run where, like, 2 minutes might not seem like a lot, but he played 2 more minutes than Wiggins, and 2 minutes is very important.
Yeah, but he got that whole the
last like 6
minutes.
8
minutes
right here because it was Dylan Jones and this 8 right here.
Yeah,
Dylan Jones and Dieng.
Yeah, so
I mean,
whatever.
I think it was just totally nailed, and I mean, it was just unlucky that Hartenstein ended up being the winning captain, but a lot of that too was Jokic had that run because he was going to play an extra 4 minutes or whatever it was, 3 minutes, 4, which is a lot. And he just got those 3 fouls in a row where it was just a joke. And again, they lost by 50, but the way they officiated him was just an absolute joke. He was laughing about it. But if we got that extra 3 or 4 minutes and just say he got 45, because I think he was, what was he short of his numbers? What was his?
He scored 38 fantasy points. I know that.
So he had 8 boards and 6 assists. Like, so if
Yep.
if he got 2 more boards, all of a sudden you get the double-double, and you didn't need that much more from him. Like we said yesterday, he gets mid-40s. Like, you're gonna need him, and he just didn't get, I mean,
He
30
got his complete floor. Like he
yeah.
went
I think
bottom.
I even
Like
said it on the show, like 40s this floor. And then we looked and we're like, maybe it's a little higher. But this is what happens. And I mean, they were down a bunch the whole game. This is why we like 2 gamers in showdowns, because you can game theory it up. And it just shows you that. I mean, I love the Nuggets, but if there's ever been a bad Nugget spot ever, it was yesterday. Like, a horrible Nugget spot. You're facing the best team in basketball on the road. And I still remember this always going forward. Like, if a team plays a 7-gamer and the other team has rest, I just think it always benefits the 7-teamer game 1. And then the next game, the rest catches up with them a little more. So
yeah.
I honestly wish they punted it a little quicker. Take my feelings of.
And as a big favorite, I think it takes a lot of pressure off you when you
Yeah,
win game 1 somehow. Like when you
tons of
pull it
pressure.
off, it takes like all the pressure out. Where I don't want
Yeah.
to say you relax, but you
No, you
probably kind
do.
of do relax a
It's
little bit.
natural.
Like,
It just happens.
yeah,
It's like the more desperate team usually wins. And there's no way, I don't care what anyone says. Like, if you're up 1-0 and you're Denver, how could you possibly come in that much more motivated? Like, you just can't. I don't care who you are.
yeah, exactly.
And Peyton Watson. We talked about Peyton Watson too on the show. I didn't think he'd get scrub run, but he started the 4th out there, and I'm like, oh my God, are we really going to get 12 minutes of Peyton Watson? And then we really would have won all the money, because I wasn't counting on it. And then I thought he was like crushing too to start the 4th. He got like a block and steal and a rebound, drove down, scored one. I'm like, oh my God, Peyton Watson is going to win every dollar. And then they took him out like a little bit after that. But
I mean, yeah, we kind of expected it to happen too, right? Where they take him. I was like, whoa, they're playing him in the 4th. Like, I was surprised he was even in there
me
for the time
too.
he's
I
up.
couldn't
So,
believe it. And then he was crushing, and I'm like, oh my God. And then, I mean, Strother is still going to be the best play. He didn't get there yesterday, but he's just the guy that could play tiny bit in regulation. And that's why I like this chart that we show every day, because when we get to these blowout spots, we can go back and look at the clear examples of who they're going to play in these spots, which is going to help us as the playoffs go on for sure. But I mean, I didn't take anything from the actual game. I thought it would happen. It's 1-1. I don't look at them different or the Nuggets different after 2 games. I think it's pretty much what we expected, honestly. Like, it's gone pretty on cue.
definitely gone on cue. I was glad at least we got the, obviously one game didn't go exactly our way at the end, but this game went completely our way, and it was the showdown too.
And the
So,
first one did kind of go our way as far as fantasy points, not as far as how we thought it would happen. And I didn't think it wasn't perfect. Like, I didn't love Cat or anything.
I mean, and Jason Tatum should have smashed in that game. Like, he was so bad. Derek White was really good. We love Derek White.
Derek White was awesome. He was the one guy that was awesome.
Even though he couldn't, he's another guy. He missed how many threes? How many just like threes?
He chucks, like you said yesterday. That dude chucks.
I mean, the green light is just there for Derek White, no matter what. That guy can miss 100 threes in a row. They'd be telling him to shoot 10 more.
Like, I want to talk about this too, because I get this question a lot, like 5-1, 4. I just don't think you think of it like that in basketball. Like, in football, I get it. I just don't in showdown. Like, I never look. Do you look at it like that, where I want to play 3-3, 4-2, 5? I literally just figure out the studs and then go down. Like, I don't ever think. Not once yesterday was I like, I need to play a bunch of 5-1s, because the scrub guys could come from either team in a blowout. So I don't think of it like that.
Right. Yeah, exactly. Like you said, and like I said too, like, it could have been Strother. It could have been Zeke.
Could have been any of the scrubs.
It could have been Kenrich Williams out of nowhere, like not playing and then playing that whole 8 minutes and getting the scrub run. It could have been Jalen with a Y, Aaron Wiggins. It was Isaiah Joe.
I'll just say, for example, you didn't even bring him up too when you're talking about it, but I needed 6 points on my team to ship. If I would have played Hunter Tyson over Strother, which I wouldn't have, I'm not saying I would have. I would have been right, if not in first, right there. And he could have done it. It could have been any of the scrubs. I mean, Hunter Tyson had 16.5 fantasy points at probably 0% ownership.
Definitely. I mean, that's the thing, though. I don't look at it that way. Now, I did think it was if you're like on the 2-game slate, like I was fading pretty much all of Denver. So I did think it is reasonable on a showdown to be like, if I don't like Denver and I really like a lot of the OKC guys, could I make good 5-1 lineups? Yes, I could. I don't think I have to make 5-1 lineups, though, even in my script. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think
non-Jokic builds, which was what won non-Jokic builds, because then you could have one scrub in there, non-Jokic, and all the good, which is what won, all the OKC guys. Man, I just think it's infinitely better with I sound sour, but I don't do this. I don't like whine about my build. I think my build was better, though, with Jokic up top, or that build didn't have Jokic in the captain. It was SGA captain, but Jokic on the team. I mean, I think if you're not playing Jokic in that spot, it's not as good of a team, but it doesn't matter. They got to the winner's circle. I didn't.
Exactly. And I mean, at the end of the day, you can call everything correctly and still
need luck.
still miss by one or something like that, or and that's,
and the money drops off a lot. You got to be perfect. You got to get a little lucky, and then you gotta get all the way to the finish line.
Yep, it's just a fact. But no, I don't feel like I have to bump 5-1s or have to play 5-1s in a blowout script, because, like you said, there can still be two guys that have good fantasy games from the other side. So, yeah. It just so happened that a 5-1 did win, but like you said, that's because kind of Jokic completely failed. And literally all their main guys pretty much failed. Outside of who? Westbrook?
They all definitely failed.
Outside of who? Westbrook?
Yeah, and he didn't crush, but he didn't fail. I wouldn't say he failed.
He didn't crush, but because of the lineup construction and Jokic not being in there, you needed one guy who was a little more expensive from Denver. But that's just the way it goes sometimes, Tony. It's just how it rolls. But I thought we had some good calls. We do have a showdown slate tonight. Golden State and Minnesota. Obviously, Minnesota dropping game 1.
5-1 topic we were just talking about.
We might have to go back to the 5-1 topic here in a second. But just from an overview perspective, I mean, no Steph Curry. This game, second game in Minnesota. Minnesota was as bad as you can be in game 1. Can they do that in game 2? Or is this like an OKC Denver spot in game 2?
I mean, this looks like an absolute trampoline to me here. Like, I just couldn't even imagine taking Golden State tonight in any form. Like, Minnesota, they played so bad game 1. And if you thought Denver was happy getting 1, Golden State, man, they have to be happy losing Steph and winning on the road, coming off that long series beforehand. If there's ever been another blowout spot, we get it back-to-back days. And, I mean, I'm full loading for blowout. What's the actual spread, 11 or 12 or something?
The actual spread here is 10.5. Okay.
So, I mean, and I agree with being there. Jimmy will be the first guy to quit, because Jimmy knows when to push it and when to not, and he's famous for this. Like, if he knows they can't win, he'll 100% be the first guy to pack it in. That's what Jimmy Butler does.
And guess who hates playing without Steph more than Jimmy? Draymond. So Draymond will be this at least the second guy to quit.
Man, if it's ever been clear cut to me, the build type, which I love it because it's just showdown tonight, I am full gearing up for all Minnesota shove. We got the blueprint last night where if you played all the, let's pull up my sheet again. Where's OKC? So if we just assume this was Minnesota on this sheet, you had SGA for 50. Let's say that's Ant. Jalen, Chet, Isaiah, 36, 42, 35. There's your next group of Minnesota guys. And then you got all the scrubber type guys, 18, 20. I think it's a very similar blueprint tonight. I just really do, where you're just going to, and it makes it even easier for me on Showdown, because I think Ant is miles ahead of anyone else for top captain, miles ahead.
Yeah.
And then you really don't have that many other guys I want to cycle in. I learned my lesson. I'm not going to do it. If I think it's a blowout, I'm 100% going to include a few of these mid-tiers like our Hartenstein yesterday, only because I'm not playing any Golden State captains. So if I eliminate all that in the blowout, I'm not even playing Jimmy, because if this game's close, I'm losing, and I'm okay with that. I'm okay with full gearing up, and I'm not fading Jimmy, but I'm fading him in the captain, which all of a sudden then, so if you play like, just say you played 60% in the captain or something, which will be above the field, way above the field in the captain, then you can save yourself like 15, 20 for Randall. I'm not going to play Gobert captain, obviously, but McDaniels and Nas, like Nas could have a game where he gets 40 or 50. Like I want him in there and Jaden. So, but I think it's literally as clear cut as you could possibly have a showdown slate.
Yeah, I think like you want at least 3 of all those guys you just said from Minnesota, probably 4. And then
3 or 4 of the starters, 100%.
Right. And you could add Nas in there too, I think, if you want to just add Nas in there. But 3 or 4 of those guys, and then you just cycle.
Nas might start tonight, dude. Like, don't be surprised if they start him over Gobert. Which I hope they don't, because then he'll be stupid high owned, and no one will play Gobert if he doesn't start.
Yeah, it kind of makes Gobert a better play if that were to.
If he came off the bench, I agree. But
like from a showdown perspective,
the problem with Gobert though is he's 8K. I mean, ugh.
Yeah, but also the problem is in our theory where they just roll him, Tony, Gobert probably gets 15 rebounds because Golden State's missing a bunch of threes that they hit in game 1, right? Like Gobert's just pounding the boards and getting the ball out, but. Yeah, I mean, I'm 100% with you. And on top of it, we've got like really good cheap plays. So it like sets up really well for like you have value on this slate that you're going to have. And again, you could play both sides of the value too. You know what I mean? You don't have to just play Golden State guys, but man, Kerr mails it in faster than anyone else. You got a few players that do it. They already have one.
We got the absolute hero too. Like, I mean, what more could you want than Pat Spencer in a blowout?
That's stash, baby. That's what we want.
I should play Pat. I'll tell you what. I said I'm not playing any Golden State captain. In my 20 or 150, I will play at least one Pat Spencer captain. Mark it down. I will play at least one for when he.
You're gonna pull a Rubio here, just out of respect.
Only at least one out of respect. Rubio, baby. At least one.
I mean, Pat Spencer could definitely get it done. So I'm not like even shitting on it.
Scrub time.
Legit 30 in scrub time. So
what's
yeah,
better, I mean, than a blowout build where we get Pat Spencer. I mean, what is better?
So you talked about fading all the Golden State guys in the captain. I'll take it a step. Like I can't pay 8,400 for Draymond. Like if Draymond beats me at 8,400, then they're not though. If they get crushed, Draymond's having a bad game because you guys said Jimmy's the first one to quit. Draymond is definitely the first one to quit. He's going to kick someone in the balls.
Draymond though is they're just leaving him wide open. I think he could.
That's every team though. That's every team. They're leaving him wide open for a reason. Like 10 threes last game. That'll tell you how wide open he was too.
But that's why I think he could possibly like get there, even as the one Golden State guy.
He is 8,400.
Believe me, I'm not saying I like him. I want it to be clear. I'm not saying I like him. I'm just saying don't do what you do and just remove him for no reason. Just underproject him a little bit.
Fine, I'll underproject him. I'm gonna wait.
He bangs 5 threes and they still get blown out. You're gonna be like, why did I zero him out?
Yeah, it's true. That's a good point right there. But whatever. Okay, fine. I'll be way under on him. Buddy Hield at 7,600. What are we doing here with Buddy? Because he got the big price bump. And
I think he's like way worse of a play than Draymond. But I think they're all bad plays. That's why I love this slate.
That's my point, though. You're going to have to play one or two of them.
Exactly what I did with Denver yesterday. I'm leaving because I left all those Denver guys in my pool, but I just lowered them. So you don't get hardly any of them. Like if Draymond's projected 30, I'm going to make him projected like 25. If Buddy's 27, I'm going to make him like 20. I'm going to lower them all like 5 points.
That's fair. That's fair.
And then I'm going
I'll
to go down
probably
and
do
I'm
the
going to
same.
bump Pat Spencer up to like 38 fantasy points.
38. Oh
I
God.
legit
All
am
right.
playing him on every team. There's no way I'm fading him on any team.
So what about guys like Jonathan Kuminga, Kevon Looney, Moses Moody, Quentin Post? What about those type of plays?
I
Like
just
they're
think
not
it's like
1K.
literally the most clear-cut thing ever. Like Looney is going to be the DeAndre Jordan of the day, where like he's going to project like better than most, but when it turns into a blowout, this dude is not going to play that much, like if at
No.
all.
I
And
like Moody in
Kuminga,
that range.
they hate Kuminga too, like so they could play him in scrub time. Moody, Post, Spencer, Santos, like Looney would be my least favorite. And the nice part is he's going to project pretty good. I mean, at this price point. So,
And I think I honestly, I think Looney, I think Moody and Kuminga are the best plays in those range for our type of script. And I think Post gets hurt because Trace Jackson Davis is the blowout scrub that they run at center. Because
yeah.
Quentin Post actually plays real minutes. So when they get blown out, they're going to view him as a little more valuable of a commodity to sit. So they'll play Trace Jackson Davis probably.
Yeah.
So
I mean, I totally love Trace Jackson Davis. And again, the advantage to just full leaning into the blowout is we can go way overexposed to some of these guys that other people won't. And again, I'm going to say the same thing over and over, but if we're wrong, you're going to lose for sure because these guys won't play. And the guys like Jimmy and Draymond and Buddy, like if Golden State wins this game or it's close, those starters have to crush for them, which means we are going to get smashed. Like we're going to get our face smashed in because we're going to be less on them. But when we're right, like we were yesterday, all these guys are going to bust and their prices are so high. I mean, 8,400, 7,600, 7K for pods. And then all these other guys, like Kuminga could smash in scrub time. Quentin Post could smash in scrub time. Moody could crush. Santos could even crush. Like, I think it's like one of the best opportunities I've seen in a while. And just say you use a 1K guy again. Like you can play Ant in the captain, Randall, McDaniels, and because in a blowout, you're always going to need at least one 1K guy. And then, well, I say that, and yesterday you didn't because those guys didn't get
say Pat Spencer though, Tony. He's 12.
I mean, Pat Spencer, and I do love too about Pat Spencer. They just bumped him 200, just a smidge above the 1K guys.
Yeah,
but you still have 7K left if you play that. 7K for your last two spots. That's with Ant in the captain. That's what I mean. It might just be like a full shove Ant captain, except for like
listen to this team: Ant, Julius Randle, McDaniels, Pat Spencer, and Jimmy Butler. You got 2,800 left for your last spot. That is exactly that range that I just asked you about. Kuminga, Looney, Moody, Post. People will fall in this range and stuff like that. And you could take it a step further, though. This is where you can get even more different is if you leave all that salary on the table and go play a 1K guy, and Trace Jackson Davis does outscore all those guys, and you leave almost 2K on the table.
It's crazy how much this slate reminds me of that slate like 4 or 5 years ago where we won all the money, where we played 2 1K guys, but we forced it like to play 2 1K guys, which means you wouldn't play because everyone's going to play Jimmy, man. Like everyone's going to play Jimmy with the way it sets up. And when he doesn't get there and he quits like he will, you just have a chance to literally win every single dollar on the site. And that's for people that play like 3 entries, where if you just play 2 1K guys, like look at that build right there. If we want to play Pat Spencer and you just say whoever, Trace Jackson Davis, because what happens when those two play the whole fourth quarter? Pat Spencer, and right now, if I told you Jackson Davis and Spencer play the whole fourth tonight,
they're going to crush.
They're going to get like 20 fantasy
I'd probably lock them on all my teams.
That's what I mean. So, but then all of a sudden, with our exact build, the 3 best Minnesota guys and 2 1K guys, you have 13K left. That means everyone's playing Jimmy on this build. So if you don't play Jimmy, you have a chance to solo win tonight for $20. You could solo win 100K tonight with this build. What's more fun than that?
if you somehow played like Rudy or something like that, I'm
Play
just saying,
Rudy.
like,
That's fine. Play Rudy. All he's got to do is outscore Jimmy.
that's what I'm saying. Like, he outscores Jimmy, Draymond, Buddy Hield, you win, pretty much.
See, like,
right?
yeah, I think with a build like this, you like just fully embrace it. And Golden State could punt at halftime. They're the one team that could legit punt at halftime. And
yeah, and
like you could
Minnesota's going to
play
close it out more.
Nas Reed with this build. You leave 6,400 with Nas Reed. Like
Definitely.
that team right there could win $100K tonight off $20. And yeah, I mean, Luke Garza, absolutely. Like, I keep trying to make him work, and we haven't got the full blowout yet. Because Minnesota hasn't had any blowouts yet, right? Let me pull them
up. I think they had one against the Lakers, right?
Game 1, they had it, but and even that one.
Here's the thing, guys. Here's the thing, though. I will say, like the last game, it was a little different because both teams kind of decided to, like, okay, we're just going to let up at the same time, right? Denver and OKC. So both sides of the scrubs got decent amount of run, right, Tony? But like this game, it's a little different in my opinion, just because we know for a fact Steve Kerr could quit at halftime. And by quit, I mean, legit, like start a different five after halftime. Like Minnesota will not do that. Minnesota, they'll play the third quarter out is more my point. So I think I like the Luke Garza play. If I'm playing Minnesota, it's him or Shannon 100% if I'm playing a cheap guy. But the Golden State guys are definitely better, I think, just because of the chance Steve Kerr quits before Minnesota quits. That's all I'm going to say. But if I'm playing anyone from Minnesota that's cheap, it's
the
Garza.
thing is, though, with Garza, like he can clip it better than any of them once he's actually in. Like he's like an absolute monster.
Well, he's the best point per minute guy.
He's 100%. Like an absolute specimen when it comes to that.
Yeah, he's the
imagine
best
him and Trace Jackson Davis going back and forth.
Yeah.
Oh man!
Imagine if you left 12K on the table.
Tonight. I mean, we are gonna rake money tonight.
I love these builds. And the best thing about it too is like you are now just rooting on the script blowout, but when it happens and you just know that
and you got all these scrubs, you know how fun it's going to be in the fourth when you got builds of like every different scrub just shooting up the leaderboard, and all of them, the ones that aren't projected are going to not be owned.
Yeah, so like this is one of those slates. I'm going to play like 20 teams, and I'm just going to rotate the two scrubs. I'm just going to rotate. Like I'm going to play some Garza. I'm going to play some Jackson Davis. I'm going to play some Pat Spencer. Some Moses Moody.
Pat Spencer is going to nuke.
I might lock Pat Spencer. Because the one thing about Pat Spencer is he has a chance to all these guys we're talking about, like he has a chance to actually play in the first quarter, whereas none of these other guys do, like Garza, Jackson Davis, Shannon. He actually has a chance to play in the first quarter. So does Moses Moody. So could Kuminga. Right, those guys at least have chances.
Golden State has a lot of openings that they could do anything weird tonight.
Steve Kerr's going to play 12 guys at least.
Like Steve Kerr wouldn't even shock me if he just started a weird team.
You really think Steve Kerr's going to start Pat Spencer?
No, I mean I don't, but I wouldn't be shocked though if he did. Steve Kerr could do anything and it wouldn't surprise me.
I would be shocked if he started Pat Spencer over Gary Payton.
I would be kind of thought like last night before the game in the Denver game too. I'm like, how genius would it be if you think, well, no one ever thinks they're going to lose, but if you're honest, like you're like, we might lose. And if you just started just like a regular season game when you punt,
just like quit it.
Because then the other team lets up a little bit because they see the scrubs, and your scrubs are going to play their ass off.
It's what happened with Golden State and Houston that game where Houston was killing them, and then Steve Kerr let up and played his guy.
Rolling.
And they started rolling.
You'll still probably lose, but for one, your good guys get a full 3-4 days rest. And then your other guys, who knows, maybe they stay in it and play good.
Yeah, and I'm not even shitting on Steve Kerr. Like I understand the like pull his guys at halftime and start. I would actually understand it if they're getting like destroyed, like because they're an older team and you know he's going to prioritize rest and stuff like that.
And they already won one on the road. All you got to
already
do in
won
theory
one.
is win at home now. Win at home. Get healthy and win at home.
The theory is get Steph back as soon as possible and try and win one, at home and then go
I'm
from
even
there.
more confident in my writing this down because a lot of the news came out after our show. I'm even more confident.
By the way, when I'm right, you have to call me MDJSU. That's another stipulation. Write that down.
That on the sheet too.
Write that down when I'm right. Because yesterday you said to me, you go, okay, doctor. So I'm like, all right, fuck you. MD. You're gonna have to call me. It's so funny. My buddy has an MD and stuff, but it's in like something random. It's not like in like medical shit. It's in like something random, like fucking. I can't even remember off the back, but it's just the funniest thing because he's like, call me doctor, call me MD Danko. And I was like, no, I'm not calling you that. You're not. Dr. LG. No, I like MD JSU way better. Medical doctor. MD JSU.
LGMD.
It doesn't sound as good. It doesn't ring.
Good.
Does Kuminga even play in a blowout? He could. I don't know if he will, though, honestly, because they do have so many. Tony, can you pull that sheet back up real quick? Or I can look where they've got Kevin Knox.
Yeah, I like to feel wanted. When you want my sheet, it makes me.
Does that make you feel good?
Yeah, it does.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Like can you pull it back up, please?
Yeah.
I won't even look. All right. Cool.
I'll pull it back up for you. There you go.
Appreciate it. So who do we have here? We've got Braxton.
Golden State's is the toughest to read for the record too, because anything can happen.
Okay, I think Trace Jackson Davis is definitely playing. Okay, so we can plug him in, right, Tony?
I mean, I think you can. This game right here, this game 5 versus Houston, they did have Steph in and Kuminga was out, but these 5 right here are not. These 4 right here played all of that scrub time.
And the only reason Pat Spencer didn't, and I think that was Moses Moody, was because he got kicked out. So who benefited from that? That was Moody, right?
I mean, it had to be 26. Yeah, it had to be Moody.
So Moody might
Moody
not
would play in just a full-blown blowout.
Well, he did in the Houston game, but again, Pat Spencer was out, right? At that point.
And Kuminga was out too, so who knows?
Kuminga. So actually,
these
Joe,
4 right here, like I think you can bank if it's a full-blown blowout. I think you can bank on these 4 plus 1, which is probably Pat Spencer. But who knows? The only scary part about our boy Pat, I'll just say it, with Steph out, I don't know if he gets the full-blown scrub time run now. They might need him a little bit more for a boost. I think he will.
Yeah, maybe.
And again, with the you need like full-blown blowout. I'm talking like yesterday where it's 40. Like if it's like
But I agree with you though. Yeah, because this is like the C team. Kind of like we saw the OKC C team at the very end, like that last 8 minutes, right, Tony?
They were pulling people out of the crowd.
They were pulling people out of the crowd. So Santos, Knox, Key, Trace Jackson Davis in a full-blown blowout. I think you lock those guys in there.
These 3 are like 100%. Like Santos, maybe. These 3 are 100%.
And then I think it's Pat Spencer. I get what Tony's saying. I think it is Pat Spencer.
He's been so good, dude.
I know that's why I said I think he could play in the first quarter. I wouldn't be shocked.
And if he's truly playing in the first quarter, though, he's not going to play in that full-blown scrub time. Like
maybe
it can't be. There's too many guys.
But if he's playing in the first quarter, he might play a good amount regardless.
How many dudes are on the? Is there? So there's 15. There's 15 guys right here. That's their whole roster. That's the only team that used all 15.
Steve Kerr loves to play 13
That's
guys.
crazy that that no other teams used all 15, even in the blowout. I don't even think OKC didn't even use 15.
They didn't?
I don't think.
Did they only have 14?
14, and Dieng was only barely played.
Huh.
I wonder who their fifth. I wonder who you think their fifth. Who you think their 15th guy is?
Is he hurt? Carlson, that big white dude?
That Topic dude.
Oh, isn't he hurt? I think he
might be. He's on their roster though, their playoff roster.
Been hurt. I think he's been out this whole year. or most of the year.
How's he on the
I don't know.
playoff roster then? This is a playoff roster.
I thought he's been hurt all year. Yeah, B Nair says Topic was hurt. I don't know if he's still hurt.
Either way, it doesn't freaking matter. The point is Steve Kerr, you just never know.
I was kind of pissed Denver didn't draft him, to be honest with you.
I don't even know who it is.
He's an interesting player. I think he's a guy Jokic would like playing with.
Best Nikola in the series.
Best Nikola, yeah, exactly. All right, so we're both aligned. Favorite captains, Tony. You talked about Ant, obviously. Who's at least the
Ant. Unless you're playing 150 teams, it's just Ant.
So are you just locking Ant? Because I think
I'm going to probably play 150 tonight as much as I like it, so I'm not going to lock him. But
so who's in your pool? Who's in your pool then?
Just those good Minnesota guys and my one Pat Spencer team.
So McDaniels, Julius Randle, Ant.
Yeah.
Am I missing anyone?
I think Ant is like light years better than any other captain play.
Light years.
If I was playing probably 50 or less, I'd lock Ant.
Yeah.
Like,
I think I'm going to lock Ant.
I might still lock Ant and just get more like combos of different stuff. Like,
dude, if you lock Ant, you can get so many random combos.
That's what I want. I want all the scrub, like random things in there.
And honestly, this is one of those slates. Like, make sure your minimum salary is higher than normal.
Definitely, way higher.
This is definitely one of those slates.
You can't spend it if you don't like the Warriors guys and Steph's out. Like, obviously, he's out already, but you just can't spend it. You can't spend all your salary. And yes, if the game is close, we will lose all our money. It's a fact. But when it doesn't, when it isn't close, we're going to win a lot. Because all these people, same thing I said yesterday, all the 150 players will not build for a blowout. So they're going to have all the Golden State guys at these projections.
Yeah, and even if you played the three of the good Minnesota guys plus Jimmy and two like 1-ish K guys, like 1,200 or cheaper guys, you're still leaving almost 2K, 1,800 on the table. So that's a lot of money right there.
Builds too, which is why I might still just lock Ant, because I want some builds where Jimmy's my Golden State guy or Draymond or these guys. I
don't know how Ant doesn't. Ant was bad in drop 52.
It's so clearly the only way he doesn't, I think, because he does do this where if it's a blowout, sometimes he just pulls his foot off a little bit and like, Randall, go dominate tonight, Randall. That's the only reason he might not. He's not a front runner. He's the opposite of a front runner.
I think he's a guy that I think that's the reason why these guys all love him, though, because he can do both. Correct. Like he's fine with, and he's cool with it either way. He doesn't get mad after the fact either if someone else like shines. Like he doesn't care.
So look the other night too. Like, so it's gonna be a point slate. I think I don't see how it's not like last night Hardenstein. It wasn't a point slate, but I don't see how it's not it should have been a point slate last night too. I'm sounding like sour grapes. It should have been an SGA captain that won it.
You've been whining a lot. You've been whining a lot. Yeah,
I'm whining.
Big whiner. That's gonna be your new nickname.
Like, look at these. No other Minnesota guy had over 30, and Nas had 30.25. Like, I struggle to not see it being Ant.
Yeah, I'm with you there. Ant is probably going to be the guy just slamming.
I need to play at least a tiny bit of Gobert. Couldn't you see him crushing?
In the cap?
Yeah,
in the cap?
Just because I got 150.
Honestly, and I hate Gobert, but I don't like Gobert in close games, Tony. I want to be clear about this.
20 boards. How fun would it be to win 100K with a Gobert captain?
I'm telling you though, I'm telling you, this is the spot where we should play Gobert, because I like him more in the blowout scenario games where there's just missed shots left and right, and he's owning them on the glass. I don't like Gobert when I think the game's going to be close, because I feel like he always has that potential of being pulled because he just doesn't fit at the end of games in certain scenarios, especially if Minnesota's down, like especially if they need offense. He doesn't fit. Yeah. So that's the thing with Gobert. But in a blowout one, he's going to play the same amount as Julius Randle probably, or close to it. Maybe not the exact same, but close to it. So, and Nas probably gets hurt more in a blowout, right, Tony?
It just all depends on, because a lot of these guys, you're going to have to get it before the game's over. So maybe the reason is the blowout is because it's Nas just going crazy.
I meant like his minutes.
Definitely. I mean, like, all their minutes are going to be lower for sure.
All the bench guys' minutes, like Dante's minutes, are going to get hurt by a blowout.
I definitely don't like Dante a ton.
Yeah, I don't like Dante.
I like these guys all in the flex or the utility, whatever it's called.
Yeah. Well, and because we're not going to play Golden State as much, so like we're going to have a ton of Minnesota in the flex.
Why do you guys think Na only played 14? Because he stinks.
Yeah,
he's not very good. He's one of the worst too tonight. I think he's one of the worst plays because I don't think he gets blowout run, and I don't think he gets a ton if it's close.
On top of it, I think the Steph injury actually hurts a guy like Na more because you don't need another guard, like defensive guy out there as much without Steph. Because
he might legit be the worst play of the slate because then you're getting off those 1K guys too that are going to get all the scrub time. He's the worst play in a blowout, put it that way.
Well, that's my point. These bench guys are kind of bad plays in a blowout, but like you said, they could be the reason. Like Nas could be the reason that it blows out. Like Dante even could be. Dante could get hot. Like
I'm playing Dante. I'm not going to
7 threes.
I think Conley and Na are by far the two worst. Even if Conley starts, like those two are bad. Terrence Shannon will crush. Garza will crush. Yeah.
I think that's going to be my difference. I'm going to kind of be lower on this like under 4K, like 4,400, that Gary Payton range, all the way down to like post. I'm going to be under on, and I'm just going to play 2 of like Pat Spencer, Shannon, Garza, Trace Jackson Davis. I'm just going to play like 2 of those guys.
It's going to be different than the like close game build. All the normal like 150 players are going to shove in those guys, Peyton and Conley and Na and Kuminga and Looney and all these guys. So that's where we'll be different.
Yeah, one other thing too, we didn't even talk about him, but like Podziemski, we brought up Buddy Hield. He's just under Buddy Hield. 7K. I'm assuming you're going to have a little of him in the util, but like
I said exactly what I'm going to do with these Golden State guys. I'm going to lower them all by like 5 points.
And then just run it.
And just run it. Because their chances are one of these Golden State guys will still be on one of their good guys will still be on.
That's my point. Yeah, so one of them.
But I want them to be lower than. I want to bump the Minnesota guys and lower the Warriors guys and run it. This is the simple version of what I want to do.
And that's why you were telling me don't just outright fade Draymond.
I just think you're going to be so mad when this dude is butt naked open and he hits 5 threes, and you're like, why the hell did I fade him when he's wide open?
Yeah.
And he can get rebounds and stuff too. And I think Jimmy will quit before him. Believe me, I'm not advocating for Draymond, but I think you should have. If the field has 30%, I think we should have 15% or something.
Yeah. Yeah, I just don't think I'm going to have like a ton of like 2 of these guys on my builds. Like
I honestly think you should set a rule almost that you one max.
One of like
all their like rotation pieces, like even down to like Gary Payton, like one rotation piece. Gary Payton could start tonight too. You never know, but Gary Payton probably will start tonight, right?
Which again, I think in a blowout, it hurts Gary Payton too because he always has health. He always has health issues, and they value him more than they do some of these guys down the bench. So his minutes get cut too in a blowout. But that's what we think about pods there. So that's the whole that's the showdown slate right there, Tony. I think we hit it on the head. We agreed a lot about the path tonight. I'm feeling pretty good about it. So should be fun. A lot of other sports too. We got MLB. I think there's split slates today, 4 games and 4 games, early slate and a later normal slate. So I know there'll be an MLB show. I think later today, probably 5 p.m. Eastern time on this channel. You got the Golf just kicked off a little bit ago. You had your content up for the Golf. We got MMA this weekend. We'll obviously have a show tomorrow for, I think, 2 games tomorrow again. So we'll have another 2-game slate, but a lot of sports coming up this weekend, all throughout the weekend and stuff, Tony. No better time. Check out runpuresports.com, RPS 15 if you want that 15% off. I also saw too on Twitter, our guy Stats made a little upgrade to the old boom sheet, a little upgrade to the old boom sheet. So if you're someone who has checked out the boom sheet and you like the boom sheet for MLB, you've been using it. He added a tournament edge section too in the boom sheet. So for people that play tournaments, I think you're going to like the boom. If you haven't checked out the boom article, the boom sheet over at Rumpier Sports, we added it this year. Our guy Stats added it. And the members have liked it, Tony. The members have been talking it up, helping them out with the baseball content. And I know you like it too.
Oh, I love it. I was trying to pull. Is it up for the
early slate? If not, pull up yesterday's slate. You can pull up yesterday's slate too. If you, I'm not sure if it's up for the early. I know he definitely does it for the main. The early ones, I think, are.
Let me see. I'll share it because I love it. It's up for me. It's not up for today's yet, but yeah. So like, what I like about it is, see if I can make it a little bigger. The guys in green are like the elite. So like, how I like to use it. So you see elite, high. So basically, it's top to bottom based on the colors. But so once you stack a team, say you need like a catcher. You stack it. I'm always going to 5 stack or 4 stack at least, but all of a sudden you need to pick up a catcher. I need to fix these 0.0s because it's killing me. But
I knew that'd kill you.
Like say, so you got all these. You got different price ranges: 42, 31, 40. But all the best like boom upside plays towards the top. So it shows you prices, and sometimes you'll see like guys pop at weird prices, like Pascantino's cheap. McLean wasn't, but let's see if any like right here, Ernie Clement. I have no idea how did he finish last night. It'll be interesting. But 2,300. Let's see how many fantasy points. Let's put the boom to the test here because I honestly don't know.
Yeah, you're like looking at it's like
2,300. Let me pull it.
Ernie Clement had a run, scored, and a hit.
Run and a hit. So he got something, but 2,300. So say you needed a value guy there. Right there.
He got a hit yesterday, Lando. I'm looking at it right now. He got a hit, baby. Boom report.
Like shortstop, you got all spend outs. But point being, like it's just a different formula for upsides where like look at Taylor Ward, 3,300. I just like it because it puts it in a nice clean order, which I love, obviously. And it just lets you fill one-offs. And like, so I'll go in SaberSim and boost the guys that check the boxes and stuff. So it's just another cool thing we added to the site.
And then he turns it into an article form for the main slates. So then you'll get like an article form for it, which breaks it down even more in depth and really simple to use if you're like into, like the top 3 plays, the bottom 3 plays. And then he gives like a little breakdown at the bottom of like the highest combined boom scores for like stacks and lowest boom scores and stuff, best value stacks on the board.
Here on the screen, all that. So each position, catcher, high and low, best value, worst value, best
and you just scroll all the way down You'll see the key takeaways, the best value stacks and stuff like that a little higher. But yeah, it just makes it simplifies it at the end. He gives you like a full article breakdown after. So it's nice, a great piece.
If you want to stack a team, like you just said, if you want to stack Detroit, okay, here's 5 guys. So you could literally build a whole team off this article, even where you go in here, you pick your stack, you see some value guys, maybe you pop in, and then if you need one-offs, you just scroll back up to each position and it shows you the boom, the best value. So you got a nice cheap guy, 2,500. You could build a full team easily just with this article.
Yep, exactly. That's why I like it.
You like
I mean, that was a true test too, by the way, on Ernie fucking Clement. Like that was
Laureano homered? Yeah. Did Laureano hit one? Yes.
Yeah, he did hit one.
Yes.
He did hit one too. So I'll say it too. Like some of like the highest owned stacks or some of the best like boom players on the entire slate and stuff like that. He's hit a lot of them, like a lot.
It's just
So
nice when you have like an actual formula of how he gets it. It's not just because all the stuff we do, like most of it's we're just pulling it, let's be honest, off our head, what we like, that's how we've always
feel,
played. So
yep.
I love to have that mixed in with a few of the numbers where, okay, this guy might be a good play as my one-off type thing. So it's just a nice mixture with how we do it because we don't use a lot of numbers with the stuff we do.
Right, exactly. So it's a perfect, I always think that even people that like our stuff, Tony, they also like the
Of
other side
course,
a little bit.
which they
They
should.
want a little of both. And I think there is some in between like how we do it and how others do it. There's probably a middle ground, and most people like that middle
Yeah.
ground. So we're trying to do our
I
best
honestly
to
try to
add
live in the
more
middle
stuff.
ground too these days. Like I like to do my stuff and I still like to have a little bit of something mixed into the pot with it. I don't want to just go on my reads.
Correct.
And
So
everybody needs their own process. Like everyone should maybe you use 20% of what we say, 70% projections, 10% boom. Everyone, it's all what you're and maybe tonight you want to be safer. Don't build a blowout if you want to be safer. Go in and
yeah.
run the numbers. And if it's a 15-point game, chances are this stuff isn't going to happen. So it's all what you're comfortable with. A lot of the stuff we do is more risky too, to where like tonight, if this game is close, I'm legit probably going to get 0 back or close to 0.
Right.
So
And
you
and,
just
and
have
I'll
to be
tell you though
willing.
right now, not many of the big players do that. Will they'll
No,
risk losing
none of
it
them will.
all. And that's the difference right there. So that's the difference. But that's why those of you that don't play 150, maybe play 3 lineups or 5 lineups, it will actually give you an edge
Yeah.
if you want to try and implement a strategy like this. Even if you don't like our strategy, any strategy like this strategy where you're doing something different than the entire field is going to make you unique in a lot of ways and give you a chance to win. And that's the whole goal. I mean, if you're watching these shows, you just want a chance to have an edge on the field and win big money. And
Right.
that's what we try and give you. Again, we're not 100% right ever. You know what I mean? We're
Not
never
even
going to be
close.
100% right. But hopefully,
I mean,
if
if
we
you're
can be
playing
right,
$60 tonight, like I mean, well, if you go in and just run it naked, what's your chances of winning? You could min cash and stuff, but you're never winning 100K. You got to do something.
you got to add some type of strategy behind your. Like I was getting questions yesterday about Aaron Wiggins. People in our own Discord were like, "What's the Aaron Wiggins play?" Because I had Aaron Wiggins in my core. I was like, I had people DMing me like, "Am I missing something? What's?" And I said, I was like, we talked about on the show. Some people didn't get to watch the show, obviously, so I understand it. But I was just like, we talked about on the show is more like a strategy play, and he's a value. And I know no one wants to play those type of guys, so I like having like one guy in my core that,
People like it more when it's like that. If you just go in
yeah,
and put
because
Caruso in your core, like people don't like
right. People don't like that shit. Like, and it doesn't help you, in my opinion. Like doing content, I feel like people want something that is different from what everyone else is thinking or have or something like that. So when you put the obvious plays in for all your core spots, you're not really helping people. So I try and give some unique takes. And again, I'm not always right. Like I had fucking Pascal Siakam in my core 2 days ago, and he sucked. You know what I mean? Like that's going to happen. But again, I try and make it obvious that like we try and give a chance for you guys to have an edge. And that's why people watch these shows. I think that's why people like these shows is that we're different at the end of the day when we talk about sports in general than most other sites.
Yep. 100% agree. That's why it's fun too.
Yep. All right. That's going to do it here for this show. Tony, I think we talked everything under the sun, NBA, and unless you want to do something else, you want to give your George picking
I'm ready to
take.
go eat now. I'm fat. I'm ready to go eat.
You ready to
Uncle
go
T's
eat?
ready. Uncle T's ready for some lunch.
Uncle T's ready for some hot dogs and some hamburgers, a little hot dog and hamburger action today, I'm sure, for Uncle T. But enjoy your lunch. Good luck to everyone in your DraftKings contest tonight. Hopefully we get some winners to the top, and we'll see you guys tomorrow. Same time, same place, 10 a.m. Eastern time. Join us here and check us out at runpuresports.com, RPS 15 for your 15% off of monthly or weekly. For Big T and myself, JSU, we'll see you guys later. We're out. Peace.